are facing a RICO charge. But what is that? It stands for Racketeer Influenced and Corrupt Organizations. It started out as a federal law mainly targeting the mafia, but now almost all states, including Georgia, have adopted similar state RICO laws. It focuses on organized crime and only requires the state to prove that some group of people are committing a pattern of crimes. The way in which the RICO statute is used today has been a source of frustration for many attorneys. Just last year, a new lawyer for singer R. Kelly asked a federal judge to overturn his conviction on racketeering charges, saying prosecutors misused the statute. Joining me now is one of R. Kelly's former attorneys, Mike Leonard, to weigh in on this indictment against rappers Young Thug, Gunna, and dozens others. Mike, first off right here, I just want to ask you, do you still believe prosecutors overreach by using the RICO statute against R. Kelly?
Absolutely. I mean, there's a big difference between RICO's use in a case against a band or an individual singer, because it's really hard to make the argument that in that case, that all these people who are associated with the band, a bus driver, someone taking tickets, someone providing security, that they're really participating in criminal acts. So it's quite different than an organization type structure like a gang or the mafia. So they're quite different organizations, I guess you'd say. The band really is not an organization, is what I would argue.
This 88-page indictment against rappers Young Thug, Gunna, and more than 24 others. What is your take on how the Fulton County District Attorney's Office applied the RICO statute in this case?
Well, as you pointed out, Georgia does have its own RICO statute, which of course is modeled on the federal RICO statute. So it's been a tool that really federal prosecutors have been relying upon for quite some time, especially in gang cases. A gang case could be charged as a conspiracy, or it could be charged as a RICO enterprise. So it's a common tool that's used. I think they like it in this case because they could name, it's very sprawling. They've named about 28 defendants. And really all they had to allege was that there was a continuing association amongst these individuals. It's not a legal entity, a gang, of course, but they just have to show it has some structure, has some continuity to it. And it allows them then to really charge a whole bunch of people under that, large tent, so to speak.
Is this one of those things where be careful of the company that you keep? Could you just be hanging out with some people and be wrapped up in this whole case?
Absolutely. I mean, you can certainly get charged because of your association with others. And I probably think that even apart from Mr. Williams, I'm sure there's a lot of defendants named in this case who are wondering how they can possibly be named as part of this alleged enterprise. But I think probably more interesting and a little more striking was the evidence that they were relying upon to charge Mr. Williams. It goes pretty far afield. Basically, they're relying in large part upon his lyrics from songs, his video posting. And I think that might be a mistake, to sort of overreach like that, because I think there will be a lot of sympathy from a jury that, when you're trying to say that someone's music is furthering a criminal enterprise, I think a lot of jurors will have a hard time getting their arms around that and accepting that. And you kind of got that line between someone's ability to engage in free speech and be a singer, and then the idea that by doing that, they're somehow committing crimes or encouraging crimes.
Some interesting points. Well, we want to thank you so much for your time, Attorney